Hi everyone, it's Roy Fever here again to the community chat. And this one's an interesting one because David, that you can see here, David Chalmers, lives on Park Farm. He's a good friend of mine. Bit dodgy being Scottish, but hey ho, can't be perfect. No, he'll beat me for that. What I wanted to talk to, or sort of get out to people today, it's not just about businesses, it's about what's going on in your local community. So without further ado, and without kind of like rolling over what and telling you everything about David, David, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do, etc. Go on, over to you, young man.
Hi there, my name's David, David Chalmers. I live in Park Farm here. I work for Brakes. I'm currently on furlough at the moment till the end of the month, possibly longer. I also, in my spare time, I'm the chairman of the Park Farm Playground project. We're a project which initially we were set up to try and raise money for the redevelopment of the park down by Bluebell Road, by the moor.
Yeah.
We've raised around about £8,000 at the moment, thanks to people like yourself.
Awesome. That's brilliant.
We did put some new equipment into the park as well. We put in a piece in the small park, the sort of under 60s park, and a piece in the sort of under 12s park as well, which cost us about £3,000. The council put money towards that as well. They paid for the installation, we paid for the equipment. As I say, we initially started doing that, but we've sort of developed and we're doing sort of litter picks around the area. We do a monthly litter pick first Sunday of every month at 10 o'clock. And we have lots of volunteers who come and sort of help us out. We started off, there's about 6 or 7 of us. There's about 20 of us now.
Wow.
And sort of regular people who turn up. And initially, because of the amount of people we had, we were just doing the park. But now, because we've got so much more people, we're doing virtually the whole of Park Farm. So that's quite good. But it's amazing the amount of sort of litter we have about there, and the sort of weird and wonderful things that you find that people leave and sort of dispose of. Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying to you, obviously with lockdown, we're all sort of confined to our homes, or we should be. And I've sort of on the exercise that I'm doing every day, quite often we'll go out with the 2 boys on the bikes, just sort of pedal around, go up through Park Farm, out into Bridgefield, around through Finbury, sort of back through Cheeseman's Green. So it's quite a distance, but I'm just still amazed and shocked at the amount of litter floating around. Now, don't get me wrong. My job, obviously, I'm quite prevalent in Park Farm. We've got a lot of properties around that way. And yes, I know sometimes we see bins out on bin day and people have extra bags. They're going to split. That's going to add to that litter. But why do people drop litter? Why would you make where you live disgusting? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And it's amazing. As I said, the things you find, we've found microwave ovens, we've found computers, and just dumped in bushes. We've found old bikes, we've found some sort of relatively new bikes as well, which we
do you think they're kind of been stolen or?
Yeah, quite possibly been nicked and just dumped. So what we normally do with them is we sort of put them on the page to say this has been found in case it's anyone's local. And we also contact the PCSO as well, just to make them aware that that there is a bike there, and hopefully somebody can come and claim it. We do really well. We've had a lot of help from Kingsnorth Parish Council as well now. They've donated some litter pickers, some hoops as well to hold the bags, and they give us the bags as well. And we have had some help from Ashford Borough Council as well. They've sort of donated some gloves and stuff to us as well, which is really good of them.
I know we were chatting, and we kind of Evolution donated your or the extra high vis jackets, didn't we, as well? And it's, don't get me wrong, I'm going to put my hand up. I need to come out and do those with you. I mean, as you know, David, I'm a bit of an avid cyclist, so unfortunately I wouldn't make it as an excuse, but generally on a Sunday morning, I'm out with the boys at kind of 7 o'clock in the morning in the nicer weather, But I think it's Yeah, I think from walking around now, I always driving around Park Farming and that different properties, but I've certainly been more aware of it over the last 4 weeks and so forth, you know. And the boys were up at top end of Park Farm before you go to Bridgefield. You've got the Bluebell Fields, you've got the little pass there, going through on their bikes, and they'll come back, oh, Dad, there's this there and there's that there. It's disgusting. I mean, it's just, why, guys, why do we do it? It's bonkers, isn't it?
It's strange, you know, that I was sort of walking around the little woods by the school, by
Yeah.
Forley Park, and it's beautiful. All the bluebells are out. It's absolutely stunning. But the amount of rubbish which is still in amongst it as well. And I don't think you realise until you actually start looking really hard around and you see all the rubbish. And the amount of people who've contacted us just before we went into lockdown, we gave out a lot of the equipment, got people to sign for it, what they took, and they're actually doing while, you know, they're doing their sort of weekly or daily exercise. And we had one lady and her son, they collected, I think it was 4 or 5 bags from the woods alone.
Crikey.
They're getting out and doing that for us, which is great. But, you know, and there's other people, a friend of mine, Phil, he was out the other day there, round about the park, and he collected, I think he collected 3 bags full of stuff round by the park, and that was his daily exercise. So we're still doing the daily exercise, but still doing the litter picking as well.
That's really good. So if anybody's sort of living on Park Farm is watching this clip and they think, you know, on my daily exercise I can pick stuff up. I know we've all got bin bags at home, and you probably got some kind of gloves, but they can contact you, can they, and then arrange to borrow some equipment they sign for, or?
Yep. What Brilliant. You can do is just contact us on the Park Farm Playground Project Facebook page.
We'll put those details in the comments, don't worry.
Excellent. Just contact us. We'll then drop some stuff off to them. We can drop off litter pickers. We can drop off high vis. We can drop off some bin bags if they need it.
Awesome.
If you've got any hoops left, I can drop them, and they can sort of social distancing. Obviously, we'll drop the stuff off, take a note of what they've got, their address. We'll get their phone number. We'll ring the bell, walk away, and leave it for them. And then
all social distancing, all nice and safe. Yeah. Mate, that's absolutely fantastic. And I think, again, I come back to the original point I made. There's always going to be an element of litter somewhere. I think when you've got bin bags that are put out, I'm not saying seagulls, but birds will get hold of them, or the foxes or something. So it's just literally down to everybody just taking a little bit more care when they're sort of like looking after the household rubbish, but just take it home with you. I mean, this was drilled into me when I was a kid. I mean, I'm kind of a bit more than 21 now, but it was probably like you, David, it was always drilled into you, take your rubbish home.
Take your rubbish home, yeah. I think, you know, it's about education. We have an issue down at the park where people come along in cars in the evening, they'll have their fast food from various restaurants around, and they'll just literally, even though there's a bin 5-10 yards away, they'll literally just open the window or open the door and drop it out. And you know, we have contacted some of these big fast food places to try and get some sponsorship from them, or try and get them to sort of
raise awareness
of equipment and raise awareness, but we've not heard anything back from them, unfortunately. We find it's the companies who are more local, who look after us and sponsor us, and you know, do the right thing, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've done some work sort of to support you guys, not necessarily like the physical. I mean, I think one of your first events in the summer, we came down, we brought Bertie the van, we had the balloons in it, and the girls went out and helped you do the big litter pick. So I think for not just because I live here on Park Farm, but I think as a local business. So I'm kind of I'd say to any local businesses out there, do what's right for your community. I think get involved, do something. I mean, as you well know, David, if anybody out there is thinking of going to be selling, when we come out the back end of this, if you're thinking of selling, all right, for every property that we put onto the market that's in Park Farm, okay, and it covers Bridgefield as well, don't we? We'll donate £100, okay, for just coming on the market. So it's £100 to the project, guys. All right. We're a local company. We're independent. We're not corporate. We're not financed by any sort of third party or anything. I suppose we've grown up here, and we want to save it. And we want to look after it, don't we? And I'm not being funny. If you're living on the estate, we're very fortunate on the estate. Beautiful houses around, nice green open areas. If you're looking to sell a property or move, upsize, downsize, whatever you're looking to do, you'd want any buyer approaching your property to get the right feeling. So by doing that little bit of education now with your children, with yourselves, with relatives, whatever, and your neighbours, just talk about it. That's going to improve the area. That's going to lift the area. It'll give it a better reputation. And what happens there? I know as an agent, prices go up. Put some value back into your property, doesn't it? Madness, madness. I'll take my house here. Who else have you got involved? So you're the chairman of it, David?
Yep, I'm the chairman, and we've got Gemma and Louise and Jess and Francis. We also have some sort of ad hoc sort of volunteers to help us out as well. Joe,
cool.
Nikki, and Kirsty. They all help us, and occasionally some of the family in as well, the wife and the kids and the.
It's a given, isn't it? You get the family involved. That's the one. So if anybody wants, sorry, go on. I interrupted you. Sorry, go on.
We have a good bunch of people, but we are looking for more volunteers all the time.
Okay.
There's sort of 4 or 5 of us at the moment who are the key people. But to organise events, it does take a lot of people. It takes a lot of organisation. We did a Halloween party, not last Halloween, but the one before, down at the Slice of Life. They were a great sponsor of ours as well. They help us out a lot. And it was a fantastic evening, but the organisation that went into it was, probably 3 months worth of organisation.
Wow.
Going through all the health and safety stuff, all the insurance, getting all the food prepared and organising all that. So it does take a lot. And for 4 or 5 people, it's a lot to do, especially when, we're all
you're full-time working, aren't you? And you've got your own family that you're supporting. Yeah, I get that. Crikey. I mean, that blown me away, because I wouldn't have even imagined half of what you've spoken about there to get an event running. So all I would say to anybody, obviously, this is something that, okay, I know at the moment you've had to, I saw in your recent post, you had to put the litter picks on hold, obviously, because of the COVID-19 outbreak. But it doesn't stop anybody doing it. It doesn't stop anybody picking up a bit of litter, popping it in a bin, put it in a bag, stick it in your pot, whatever, take it home, put it in your own bin. Every bit helps, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Certainly does. And as I say, the litter picking, that's just, that's developed as part of the Park Farm Playground project to help the sort of local area. You'll find on the sort of Facebook page as well, we have a GoFundMe page as well. So if anybody wants to donate
Awesome.
cold hard cash towards Park Farm Playground project, that money goes 100% towards redeveloping the park, whether it be equipment.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's going to be the key, isn't it? So anybody watching this that is local, or you could be outside Park Farm, for example, you could sort of in the Kings North Borough or anything like that, you're going to benefit from this. If you've got ideas, I'm assuming, for fundraising, they can contact you guys, the whole team, chat to you, anybody want to support. Now is the time to kind of sit back and think, and I think everyone's been doing this, is kind of just taking stock of life. I think it's given a lot of people time to sort of sit back, think about where they are, do like I suppose like you do with your computer, just a full reset, find out what you want to get out of life. And if there's people out there that think, I've got some ideas, I've got a bit of spare time, I'm quite happy to do that. Come on, guys, get involved. Now is the time to do it. All right. Well, David, I appreciate your time today. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. I know we were going to chat yesterday, but I'm going to let everybody know he's finished his decking. So he's been working hard, even though he's furloughed. He's not stopped. I'm sure your good ladies had you doing housework and the homeschooling and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, homeschooling for my boy. My daughter sort of keeps herself to herself in the bedroom doing her homeschooling. But my Ofsted report for my homeschooling may not be satisfactory.
It'll be top scores, my son. Top scores. But yeah, I mean, we're all in it together, all right. And as I say, I think if you're out and about today doing your exercise, you don't even need to be in Park Farm, guys. All right. If you see some litter lying around, just pick it up and put it in the bin. You know, I'm going to be more conscious of it even now. And as I say, from doing the extra cycle sort of every day with the boys, I've noticed more. So yeah, I'll be doing my bit as well. So thanks very much indeed, David. I'll put all the comments in the box on the advert here, so that if people want to get in touch, they know how to. Let's get this shared out there. Let's get people's awareness up. I think kind of make people feel embarrassed if they know they've been part of this problem, if that makes sense. But not, as you say, not just a litter pick. All right. Any future events, cake, sort of. I mean, people do kind of outside. They do stalls outside their houses, things like that. I know there's a lot of fundraising going on at the moment, not just with sort of NHS stuff, frontline stuff, key workers. There's still other things out there that still are important, aren't they?
Yeah, because it's all part of the community. You know, I mean, this is all for the community.
Absolutely.
This was when we started this 2 years ago. You know, my boy was 8 years old. You know, hopefully in the next year or two we'll get some big development out of it, and it's all community based. It's nothing else. You know, it's just, you know,
everyone benefits.
Yeah, you know, what I get back is the satisfaction of seeing the kids playing on these new bits of equipment, and the park looking lovely, and people using it, going down there and spending their social time down there. You know, obviously when you know, the lockdown is over, we're going to do a lot more of that.
And I think the socialising aspect as well, as you say, when we come out of lockdown, even now going out for a walk, it's good for mental health, and everything kind of interconnects, I think. Doesn't matter what you're talking about, when you actually sit back and look at it, it all adds up. If we're all living in an area that was like run down and dirty and dangerous, as in like broken glass everywhere or equipment not right and so on, you just don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And that's not good for the area. So, brilliant. David, thank you. Sorry?
The reason I moved to Park Farm, because it was an absolutely lovely estate, and I do enjoy living here. And, you know, if we want to continue that way, we need to look after it.
Well, we've been here 20 years. I'm sort of grown the family up here. Same school as your children at Furley Park. I mean, we do a lot with the local school as well. So it's a great community. It's a fantastic place to live. It feels, I know, it just feels a safe place and somewhere people want to be. So, David, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get back on. I'm sure you've got plenty of jobs that are on your to-do list, maybe.
Yeah.
Like all of us. All right. Well, listen, thanks for your time, David. And guys, don't forget, I'm going to put in the comments box the information, and we'll speak to you soon. All right.
Take care.
Take care. Cheers, David. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.